A realization I've come to recently, right, is short-term urgency is pushed by social media and course sellers, and it's designed to make you cut corners and spend money, not to help you build anything real, right? Kind of when you actually think about it, right, whenever you see these reels or TikToks, right, of guys who are in the early 20s, they're on these super yachts, they're driving these Ferraris, etc. Or you might see a reel on Instagram of a guy saying, hey, I'm 19, I'm 21. I went from 6 months ago working in a warehouse and now I'm making 30 grand a month or whatever. Like, what that does to your psychology as a young person, right? It will just make you think, listen, that's how I can get it so quickly. You know, life can change like this. And it's true, life can change that quickly, but only if you've been building for a while, right? Then it reaches a certain point and things start to fall in place. You don't go from just having no skill to being a millionaire in a few months. Life does not work that way. But the reason they do it is it's the oldest sales technique in the book, right? You get people to feel super urgent, feel super bad about their current situation. And what will they do? They'll spend 5, 10, 15 grand on your course. That's the way things work. And what that also does is it makes you feel like instead of focusing on your own race, you want to cut corners, do stupid things to get quick money so that you can have the yacht by the end of the month or the yacht by the end of the year. Life does not work like that, right? Why this matters, right, is we all get this feeling of panic behind and feeling behind, right? Like, I get it. Everyone does it. It's pretty normal, right? Even if you might be doing well, you might see a reel of someone younger than you or your age who you feel like up, way ahead of you. But objectively for me, for my age, 23 right now, I'm doing very well for my age, right? But there's always at the back of my mind that thing saying, oh, you could be doing more, you could be doing more. And when you see a reel, when you see a reel of someone who's doing crazy things, it makes you feel, okay, I'm nowhere near the level I think I am. That's healthy sometimes, right? It allows you to push on, but it causes panic and it causes unreal expectations and worse decisions than patience ever would do, right? And for me, I've done the same thing. Like when I was younger, I say when I was like 21, I used to think about success and making money as something that can happen instantly. So instead of spending my time working on skills, I'd I was deep into like crypto meme coins, that kind of thing. There's one point I lost like 6 grand in this is pounds in crypto meme coins, and I was just waiting for I was just gambling basically, thinking I can make 100k quickly and that's it. Life's done. I'm sorted. How stupid was I? How stupid I was. How really stupid I was. Come on, man. Life does not work like that. But then when I lost all of that, I realized, okay, you have to start from ground up. If you want something sustainable long term, you want to be wealthy in 20, 30 years, even in 10 years' time, you still want to be around, you've got to build something real. You've got to have skills that are useful in the marketplace. Crypto is not one of them. It's not one of them, right? And another aspect as well, right? I was watching the Mourinho documentary, Football Manager, probably the greatest football manager of all time. And he was 38 when he got his first senior managerial job at Porto. And then 3 years later, he got the Chelsea job. He was 41. And generational wealth in a short span, in 3 years, he got generational wealth. But if you asked, in terms of modern day standards, if you asked from Mourinho's his whole adult life up until 38, people ask like, oh, what do you think of Mourinho? He'd probably be seen as a bum, right? According to modern day standards. And then look what happened. He's in the history books. But social media it gives you a warped sense of what success actually looks like. Most millionaires are in their 40s in terms of when they first made their first million. Like these young millionaires, there are more young millionaires than ever, and I think it's possible. I want to be one of them for sure, 100%. But it's very few and far between. You've got to play the long game while still building your skills, honestly. So the best course of action to do is measure your inputs daily, your outputs annually, and your results over a decade. I stopped trying to win the next month, and I just started trying to make sure that I have my goal in mind. I know where I want to be long term, and I just keep doing the daily inputs every day that make it impossible for me to fail. Right? Simple as. And what that does as well is it takes away so much stress in your brain of thinking, okay, I need to do this by this age, I need to do this by this month. Like, life doesn't work like that. Life is not linear. I feel like because we come from the school system, right? There's a lot of, okay, this year you have to do this year you take this exam, that year you take that exam. And what happens is you go into your adult life thinking things work the exact same way when it does not. Life does not work like that. It's a lot more, I can go like this. You'll spend 3 to 5, 6, 7 years doing the same thing every single day in the same phase, and it looks like nothing's happening. But one day, you'll hit boiling point, boom, everything just falls into place. You look like an overnight success. So life is a lot more long term than you actually think. And it took me a while to realize that. I feel like I'm finally realizing it. Yeah, and I think it's a beautiful thing as well because now I'm a lot less stressed. I used to think like, okay, listen, my goal is to make 10K a month by the end of the quarter, by the end of the year, by this, by that. I need to make 20K a month by this amount. And why am I putting my own timelines on myself? It's not productive because you make them so high, you never hit them anyway, and then you just feel worse about yourself. So I have my long-term goal of where I want to be when I'm 30. So that's in like 6.5 years' time. But I'm just going to do what I need to do every single day to make sure that I eventually hit that. And on the way, I'll hit 10K a month, I'll hit 20K a month, I'll hit 30K a month, I'll hit 100K a month. It's as simple as that. Life's a marathon, you know, with these courses and these gurus that tell you to, have super urgency, you do need to be urgent with your inputs, but your outputs, you need to be patient with the results, man. You've got to be patient. You've got to be patient, man. Like, it's not about who can have a good month once from selling a crypto course or hitting it big, XYZ, right? It's about who can do it consistently for 20, 30, 40 years. And I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to be rich when I'm 40. I want to be rich now when I'm young, stuff like that. But it's going to come quicker than you think. It's going to come a lot quicker than you think. You don't want to be that broke 40-year-old. You try to make 27,000 different AI agencies. I mean, if you do it for long enough, it's going to work eventually. It's going to work eventually. But you want to build real skills rather than spending your whole life chasing fast money like crypto, that kind of thing, right? You want to build real skills that's still going to be around in 20, 30 years' time. Because you are going to be 40, you are going to be 50, you are going to have children. Like, you're going to have a family that depends on you. So don't get to that point where you're like 30 years old and you realize, yo, I've tried to spend my whole life being alpha male, red pill, core seller, and it's just not worked. So work on your skills, be consistent with it, have a goal in mind, stop putting so much pressure on yourself to achieve certain things by a certain date, have a long-term goal in mind. Life has its own timeline, man. Life has its own timeline. And as soon as you just forget about, you know, running someone else's race or trying to make a certain amount by a certain time, bro, it's like a weight lifted off your soul shoulders. You become a lot more happy, a lot less stressed. You don't overthink as much. Life just becomes a lot more beauty. You see the beauty in things. You enjoy the journey rather than having to wait until you hit 20, 30K a month to start living life. You can live life now because you're happy in the process of it. So, my final words, strap in. You got to think of life as you are a gardener, right? And this is your garden. The gardener does not panic because the seed hasn't become a tree yet. You nurture it, you water it, and over time, it's inevitable, it's gonna grow. So keep that same mentality going into life. Stop trying to put unrealistic timelines. We all thought we were gonna be millionaires by 23. Newsflash, we're not, right? Gotta build things long term. But yeah, that's about it for today. Catch you guys tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe.